Okay, this video was requested by NastyBoys123. It's going to be a tour of the Final Cut Express interface. And I just did this video, but I was recording on the wrong screen, so I'm pretty annoyed right now. But that's okay. Here we go. And just letting you know, I'm not amazing at Final Cut Express, so I don't know everything. This is the browser. You have two tabs, Untitled Project and then Effects. It's only called Untitled Project. I haven't saved it yet. And then this is where your clips are displayed. Over here you can change how your clips are displayed. You can do list view, small icons, medium icons, large icons, or arrange by name, arrange by duration. I like the list view because it tells you right there duration, in point, and out point. Then you have your effects tab. Do all your effects. Favorites, video transitions, video filters, video generators, audio transitions, and audio filters. You can also access this by going to effects and then any of these. This is your viewer. This is where you view clips. Let's say you wanted to play a clip that was in your browser that you haven't put in the timeline yet. You can just drag it into your viewer, and then in the viewer you can play it and set in and out points by either hitting these buttons or I and O on your keyboard. Here's the duration of your clip, like the overall duration, and this is how far you viewed it. Like if it's a 10-minute clip and you viewed 1 second of it, it would say 1 second here, 10 minutes here. And then you have your stereo tab. Oh, and this is how much you're zoomed in. This is your stereo tab. I'm not really sure about stereo. Filters. This is where your video filters and stereo filters are displayed if you have some. And motion, you can change the scale, the rotation, the center, the anchor point. You can crop it, distort it, change the opacity, add drop shadow, or add a motion blur. And if you wanted the scale of the clip, for example, to change over time, then you would add keyframes. These here are keyframe buttons. If you click it, it'll turn green and it'll add a keyframe on this timeline. Then you can move the playhead along, let's say to the end of your clip, let's say it was right here, add a keyframe, and then you can drag it up, and that means the clip would get bigger over time. This is the canvas. This is where you view your clips in the timeline, but if let's say the audio isn't rendered, you won't really be able to hear the audio. It'll make a beeping noise. It looks the same as the viewer, except it doesn't have multiple tabs unless you have multiple sequences. This is your overall duration. This is how much of the clip you viewed so far. This is how much you're zoomed in, and then this is how it's displayed, I'm pretty sure, so you can change it. You can't really tell because I don't have a clip in it. Again, you can add a keyframe, in and out points, marker, and show match frame. This is the timeline. Up here you'll have tabs if you have multiple sequences. And then these are layers. Just like in Photoshop, how you have multiple layers, that's what makes Final Cut a lot better than iMovie. Not including all the effects, it's just the fact that you have multiple layers. On the top are your video layers, on the bottom are your audio layers. If you were to click this button, the green button here, it will gray out that track. That means you won't be able to hear that audio. On the side here you have link selection and snapping. If you have snapping turned on, that means that if you have your playhead right here and you have a clip before your playhead and you want your new clip to go exactly where the playhead is so it doesn't overlap with the clip before, you can just drag it and it'll just basically snap to the playhead. And it's good so you don't overlap your clip. This is your tools palette. This is your selection tool, or you can press A for arrow. And then this is your edit selection tool, which means that it selects only the edit points that are in your selection. And if you hold down any buttons with this arrow in the top right corner, it means that there's multiple buttons. So if you hold it down, you have all these other buttons. So there's group selection, which selects whole clips or groups of whole clips, and then there's range selection, which selects the area inside the selection that you draw. I'm not really going to go over every single tool. I'm just going to go over the first one unless they're really important. This is the select track forward tool, which selects all the contents of the track that are after the selection point. There's also select track backward, which you can probably figure out what that does. And then this is the roll tool, which I don't know, I guess it rolls edit points. This is the ripple tool, it ripples edit points. This is the slip tool, it slips in and out points. And then this is the slide tool, slides in and out. No, it slides a clip in a sequence. This is the razor blade tool. This one is very important if you're like me, and I don't know if there's another way to do it I'm about to tell you, but there probably is. In iMovie, let's say iMovie 06 or iMovie HD, when you want to edit your movie, you have to do Command T to split the clip into two, and then Command T again somewhere else, so you can delete the middle clip. Or in iMovie 08, you select only a certain part of the clip to put into your project. Well, in Final Cut Express, if you want to do that, you have to use the razor blade tool. Wherever the playhead is, if you click there, it'll split your clip into two. And then there's the razor blade all tool, which it cuts clips on all your tracks at the selection point into two sections. So if you want to cut the audio and the video at the same time, use the razor blade all tool, and that's what I do. So zoom in. This is crop, and then this is distort. Distort's pretty cool because it'll show points on your clip and you can just drag them around and distort your image. This is the pen tool, and it adds keyframes. Pen delete deletes keyframes, and then pen smooths the curve. So it adds something called a Bezier handle so you can make it curvier. It's just like in Photoshop when you use a pen tool. These, I'm not sure exactly what they do. I think it's audio levels. Not sure though. Down here you have this bar, and if you make it really short, which I can't show you because I don't have a bunch of clips, then if you have a really long movie, and then automatically this bar will get really short because your movie will be really long and you'll have to scroll all the way. The clips will be really stretched out. If you make it super long, all the clips will shrink. Not in duration, just in the just how they are in the timeline. Down here is basically how wide the layers are displayed. So if I put it to the biggest one, they're really big. If I put it to the smallest one, you can display a bunch of layers. I'm going to have a live type thing up tomorrow.